5 days after the election, an article came out from Politico. It was titled this: "More Democrats fear the party's image isn't just damaged, it's broken." Goes on, everyone agrees they lost the working class, but they're deeply divided on where to place the blame and what to do about it. It painted a very dark picture moving forward. It also stated this: "It's bad enough that Democrats are still losing working class whites, as they have in recent elections. Now, exit polls show blue-collar Latinos and some black men, long a core part of the Democratic base, are abandoning the party too, fueling electoral shellackings." Now, since the election, we've had many Democrats on the show. As always, anyone is welcome on our program. Free speech, everybody, even speech you might not like. I've heard all kinds of opinions of what happens next for their party. Maybe you lean into the far-left agenda, that it's a PR issue. They just got to hammer it home more. Maybe it's time for the old Democrat garb to step down and let some of the more progressive thinkers take charge, like in AOC. That almost just happened on the House Oversight Committee. But some have also said they think in the long run this could be the best thing that has ever happened to the Democrat Party in a long time, that the big loss will serve as a time for the party to rid themselves of some of the policies that the American people have rejected. In fact, 2 days after the election, two House Democrats had the courage to speak up finally about an issue they probably couldn't beforehand. Here it is. Two Democrats speak out against transgender athletes after Trump win. One of them was Congressman Tom Suozzi, who said this: "The Democrats have to stop pandering to the far left. I don't want to discriminate against anybody, but I don't think biological boys should be playing in girls' sports." Some dissension, finally. The Democrats, they've also thrown out the idea of having an open mind, some of them, which brings me to my next point. That is Pennsylvania United States Senator John Fetterman. Now, obviously, there's going to be plenty of disagreement with Fetterman and Republicans throughout the next few years. But the guy seems to be open to having a discussion and not just simply taking the approach that Republicans and their parties are, say, like that of Adolf Hitler. You remember that talking point the Harris campaign brought up in desperation at the end of the campaign? So an example of this is Fetterman's post on X 2 days ago on his willingness to meet with and even vote for Trump appointees. Here's what the senator wrote: "I believe that it's appropriate and the responsibility of a U.S. senator to have a conversation with President-elect Trump nominees. That's why I met with Elise Stefanik and Pete Hegseth. Just wrapped up with Tulsi Gabbard and look forward to my meetings with others soon. My votes will come from an open mind and an informed opinion rather than having a conversation with, not having a conversation with them. That's not controversial. It's my job." He's right. It's not controversial, but for a long time, most Democrats would never think of ever considering working with Trump or his people. At least that was the public perception. Others might disagree with me. He's also going to vote yes for another appointee. Always was a hard yes for Elise Stefanik, but it was a pleasure to have a conversation. I support defunding UNRWA for its documented Hamas infiltration and fully look forward to her holding the UN accountable for endemic anti-Semitism, blatant anti-Israel views. He also seems to grasp to a degree why his party continues to bleed voters. Remember when he told the New York Times this at the end of last month? Quote, "It was clear in 2016 that people were voting for Trump, and Democrats' response was, aren't they smart enough to realize they're voting against their interest? And that's insulting." And that's just not helpful. Starting to sink in for him. Look, I'm not saying Fetterman is the next leader of the Democrat Party. Who knows what happens? But the guy seems like he's willing to have maybe some dialogue. Hopefully that's a step in the right direction to end the divisiveness in the country, which is something President-elect Trump himself wants. And that's what he talked about on his victory speech.
I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite.